Everyone in the hallway froze when Logan, the school's most feared bully, made a loud crack with his knuckles and grabbed Nia by her shoulder. But in that 1 second, he made the biggest mistake of his life. Before we go further, tell us, where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments and make sure to subscribe if powerful stories like this touch your heart. Nia was quiet. Too quiet for someone who walked these halls every day with a head full of purpose and a backpack that looked way too small for all the weight she carried. Everyone thought she was just another quiet black girl, someone you could mess with, someone who would just take it, lower her eyes and walk away. But Logan, he was not ready for Nia, and neither was the rest of the school. Logan's grip tightened on Nia's arm as the crowd of students around them hushed into an uncomfortable silence. He leaned in with a smirk, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You people always walk like you own the place," he hissed. "Not today." Nia looked up slowly, not scared, not shocked, just still. Her dark eyes met his with a calmness that unsettled him, like she had seen worse before, like this was nothing new. "What do you mean, you people?" she asked, her voice low, steady. Not a flinch, not a tremble. Logan chuckled. "I mean exactly what you think I mean. Now get out of my way." That was when Mr. Ellis, the assistant principal, peeked out from his office, noticed the tension, and did what he always did, looked away, like it was not his problem, like it was just kids being kids. But Nia was done letting people look away. She did not yank her arm back. She just said one sentence that flipped the energy of the hallway upside down. "Touch me again, and I will sue this entire school." Laughter broke out. Some thought she was bluffing. Others just wanted the drama. But Nia stood there like a statue built of truth. Calm, dangerous, certain. Logan narrowed his eyes. "You think I care about your little threats?" And that is when she did something no one expected. She pulled out her phone. Not to record, not to call her parents, but to open her email. She tapped once, twice, then turned the screen around so Logan could see. It was from Watkins and Stone, one of the most feared civil rights law firms in the state. Subject line, "Nia, we are ready when you are." That hallway, filled with whispers and cruelty just seconds ago, turned to stunned silence again. Only this time, not because of Logan, because of her. Because no one, especially Logan, expected the quiet girl to be the daughter of a woman who spent 20 years building one of the fiercest law firms in the country. And Nia? She had learned everything. Logan's smirk faded like a light switch had flipped inside him. His hand slipped off Nia's arm. He looked around, suddenly aware of the eyes on him. Not just the students, but now even a teacher had stepped out of their classroom. Nia did not move. "Go ahead," she said quietly. "Say one more thing. I dare you." But Logan stayed silent. His mouth opened, then shut. The boy who mocked everyone without fear, who thrived on control, now looked like a kid caught playing with fire. From the back of the crowd, a voice rang out. "Yo, isn't that the firm that sued Oak Ridge High last year?" Another voice answered, and won. Millions. The hallway suddenly felt too small for Logan. But Nia? She finally took a step forward, not away, toward him. "You think I am just some random girl you can grab, mock, and walk away like nothing happened?" she said, not yelling, not shaking, just truth. "You picked the wrong girl, Logan, and you picked the wrong day." Behind her, someone started recording. Then another. It spread like wildfire. The phones were up, eyes wide, whispers racing. Everyone knew what was coming. Everyone could feel it. Logan's friends backed away slowly. The silence from them was louder than anything they could have said. And in that moment, the balance of power in the school hallway shifted. Not because Nia screamed, not because she begged, but because she knew exactly who she was and what she was capable of. The school principal, Mr. Hanley, finally pushed through the crowd. He was red-faced and flustered, trying to make sense of what he had just walked into. "What is going on here?" he barked, eyes darting between the students and the phones filming. Logan immediately tried to regain control. "She pushed me first. I was just defending myself." Mr. Hanley turned to Nia. "Is that true?" Nia stared at him, then calmly reached into her backpack and pulled out a small leather folder. "This," she said, handing it over, "is a formal complaint drafted by my family's attorney. It includes witness statements, video recordings, and evidence of repeated verbal and physical harassment from Logan, dating back to the start of this semester." Mr. Hanley blinked, stunned. "A formal? My mother is a senior partner at Prescott and Lane," Nia continued, "and my father teaches law at Morehouse. You may know the name. He once testified before the Supreme Court." Logan's face turned pale. The students watching were silent now, not out of boredom, but out of disbelief. No one had seen this side of Nia before. She had always walked alone, kept to herself. Nobody had imagined she was holding all this power, this quiet fire, behind that calm face. The principal turned to Logan. "Is any of this true?" Logan opened his mouth, but before he could speak, Nia added one last thing. "And I am giving the school 24 hours to handle this internally, or my parents will." Mr. Hanley looked like he had swallowed a lemon. It was no longer just a school hallway argument. It was a legal storm, about to hit full force. By lunch, the story had spread across the entire school like wildfire. Everyone was talking about it. Nia, the quiet girl, not only shut Logan down but did it with legal precision. Even teachers were whispering in the staff lounge. But Logan was not done. Sitting at the far end of the cafeteria, he scrolled furiously through his phone, face tense with anger. His friends surrounded him, trying to hype him up. "She humiliated you, bro. You gonna let her win like that?" Logan clenched his jaw. "My dad is friends with 2 board members. She wants to play this legal game? Fine. Let's see how far she really gets." The next morning, Nia was called to the school office. She walked in, calm as ever, and found herself face to face with Mr. Hanley, 2 senior staff members, and Logan's father. A tall, suited man with a smug smile stood and extended his hand. "Ms. Nia, I am Mr. Grant, Logan's father. We have reviewed your complaint and, well, we believe it is slightly exaggerated." Nia did not shake his hand. Mr. Grant continued, "There is no need to escalate this legally. We propose a simple apology from both sides, and the school will move on." Nia looked around the room. Then she pulled out her phone, tapped a few times, and set it on the table. A clear audio recording played, Logan mocking her ethnicity and class, his voice unmistakable, his words vile. The room fell silent. Nia looked up, her voice steady. "I came prepared." Mr. Grant's smile vanished. The silence in the room hung heavy, broken only by the crisp, undeniable audio of Logan's taunts echoing from Nia's phone. Mr. Hanley blinked. "Is that from yesterday's class?" "Yes," Nia replied firmly, "and I have 2 more recordings from last week, plus screenshots of Logan's messages to other students about me." Mr. Grant leaned forward, visibly rattled. "You recorded my son without consent?" Nia's calm smile barely moved. "In this state, it is legal to record if one party consents. I consented. Logan's father tried to recover, turning to the staff. Surely this is a misunderstanding. These kids. But Mr. Hanley interrupted, his tone suddenly more serious. Mr. Grant, please step outside. We need to discuss this matter internally. After a long, quiet pause, the room cleared. Nia sat with her fingers folded, waiting. She had fought 1,000 battles like this, with landlords, rude cashiers, doctors who ignored her mother's pain. But this felt bigger. This was not just for her. It was for every girl who had ever been called less than because of her skin, her name, or her silence. Later that day, an announcement came over the intercom. Logan had been suspended indefinitely, and, in a move no one expected, the school board released a statement supporting Nia and announced the creation of a new Student Legal Aid Council, with Nia as its first chairperson. The cafeteria exploded in whispers, but Nia just walked to her usual lunch table, opened her book, and ate her sandwich. Calm, unbothered, powerful. She did not need to shout. Her actions had already spoken louder than anyone expected. Within 24 hours, the video of the principal's stunned face and Logan's arrogant smirk had gone viral. Someone had secretly recorded the moment Nia played the audio in the office, and the internet picked a side fast. Hashtags exploded, #, Justice for Nia, #, Black Girl Power, #, Hold Bullies Accountable. News stations circled the school gates. Parents called board meetings. A local lawyer offered Nia a free internship on the spot. Celebrities began sharing the clip, calling her brave, composed, and a real example of what strength looks like. Meanwhile, Logan's father, once a proud sponsor of the school's sports program, found his face on morning news shows. Reporters questioned his parenting. Investors began pulling out of his business one by one. His company issued a cold statement. We do not tolerate discriminatory behavior from any member of our organization. But the biggest shock came from Nia's quiet decision that night. She released a letter, handwritten, no drama. I do not want Logan expelled, she wrote. I want education, not revenge. Let him face the students. Let him listen when we speak. That letter broke the internet. People called it graceful, poised, unbelievable, but to Nia, it was just what her grandmother would have done. The next week, the school hosted its first ever student-led forum on racism and accountability. The auditorium was packed. Cameras lined the back. Students, parents, teachers, even the mayor. Everyone was there. Nia stood at the podium, calm and unapologetically confident. She looked straight at Logan, who now sat in the front row, no smirk left, only guilt in his eyes. She said, I'm not here to make you feel small. I'm here to remind everyone that dignity is not something we give. It is something we respect. A pause. And I forgive you, she added, locking eyes with Logan. The room fell silent. Logan stood up slowly and, for the first time, addressed the crowd. I was wrong, he said. I thought power came from fear. But real power. It is what Nia showed me. I am sorry. Applause erupted, not because of Logan, but because the girl who had once sat quietly in the corner of the class had now shaken the roots of an entire town. From that day on, Nia was not just the quiet black girl. She was the voice that changed everything. And the bully? He left with a lesson written in something far stronger than chalk, truth.